What is going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me on the Awesemo YouTube channel. I am Jason Rouslin, your host for this short form video, which is the top 5 values for the Arnold Palmer Invitational, a great tournament held in one of the largest, if not the largest, tourist destination cities in the world, over Orlando, Florida, home, of course, to Walt Disney World. I'll actually be there the next couple of days, close to the action, checking out some of the golfers that end up going over to Disney instead of practicing in their first couple of rounds. But hopefully these next top 5 values, we're not going to have to worry about them going to Disney World at all during their vacation, because if they do, it likely means they don't make the cut or they have withdrawn from the event and have gone over for the fun instead of playing for golf. So anyways, let's tap into our top 5 values. Before we do, I want to make sure you guys like and subscribe to our channel here. Of course, you'll get notified when these videos come on the air, and of course, when our live shows come on the air. First one live before lock. That's on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. I'm going to be there with Ben Raza, and Eric Lindquist will be taking my spot on the Tuesday PGA DFS strategy show at 1 o'clock. Thanks to Yahoo, the sponsor. Let's go ahead and jump right in now to our top 5 values. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys a value or a pick from each pricing section. We're going to get somebody in below 7,000. We're going to get one guy in the 7,000 range. We're going to get at least one guy, maybe 2 guys in the 8,000 to 9,000 range, and then the top value above 10,000 this week. We got 6 choices. I'll talk through that. Let's start off with my bottom guy, Aaron Wise. He's ranked number 5 value on the slate according to our Awesemo DFS projections. And yes, he has had a little bit of a tough stretch. He missed the cut on the number last week. He didn't really come anywhere close at the Genesis, but I believe in his talent. So I want to stick with him a little bit, especially as his price goes down. I want to hit on that week where he ends up making a couple of putts instead of missing them all. So let's go into a little bit about Aaron Wise. Course history here, he missed the cut here last year. Recent form, missed the cut last week, came in 67th, as I said the week before. But when we look at his strokes gained numbers from this year, they're pretty good. That's why I want to stick with him. I know the form right now isn't his best, but it could flip in a switch. So let's look at him. 63rd off the tee, 66th on the approach, 63rd around the green, and 59th putting. That's pretty darn good. He's above average in almost everything. So let's keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on those strokes gained numbers and see if we can pick the week where he breaks out of this little mini slump. All right, next guy I want to talk about is Keegan Bradley. He's going to change up the course history discussion from Aaron Wise, that's for sure. He checks in at $7,300 this week and just $26 on Yahoo. Love the fact that we can go and utilize the different pricing from the sites. And for Keegan Bradley and my next guy, they're both cheaper than Aaron Wise on Yahoo, but more expensive on DraftKings. So take advantage of that. Take a look at it. For Keegan Bradley, last 2 years here at the Arnold Palmer Invitational has been a 10th and a 42nd, but he's got a little bit better than that. He hasn't missed a cut here since, at least 2012. So over the last 10 years, he's had some of the best history at this golf course. A couple of weeks ago, he came in 48th, did not play the first leg of the Florida swing there at the Honda Classic. But for Keegan Bradley this year, his ball striking looks great. 23rd on both off the tee and on the approach this year. 102 around the green. That's typical of him, a little bit better than average, but man, he's got to be one of the worst putters on tour. He's probably been one of the worst putters on tour for quite some time. And it looks like he's trending that way again this year, ranked 191st. Let's move on to a guy that has improved his strokes gained putting this year, ranked 88th on the season, which is good for him. And when he's in the top 100 in strokes gained putting, Keith Mitchell, he's going to have a good year. He's checking in at $8,100 this week on DraftKings. A little expensive, but he's only $25 on Yahoo. He's got great course history. He's 3 for 3 here. 43rd last year in the midst of him not playing well. But prior to that, came in 5th and 6th in his 2 previous starts at Bay Hill. So pretty good history around here. He does play well in Florida. He's certainly a Bermuda guy. He came in 9th last week at the Honda Classic, similar to the form that he ran in when he won the Honda Classic. He went to Arnold Palmer the very next week and came in 5th. So runs of form for Keith Mitchell through Florida are definitely a thing. We look at his strokes gained ranks from this year. He's number 5 off the tee, playing some of the best golf off the tee this year. 108 on the approach. He is hot and cold with his irons, but he's picked up his around the green game. He's learned where to miss. It's very important for these professional golfers, especially Mitchell. He's using a system to help him do that called the Decade System. For all you golf nerds, go ahead and check it out. I've mentioned it a few times. So 38th around the green and 88th putting, which again, like I mentioned off the top of talking about him, that's pretty good for him. All right, let's move on to the fourth value here. First and foremost, want to make sure you guys know that both Aaron Wise and Keegan Bradley and Keith Mitchell are all in the top 5 of values based on our PGA DFS projections in their price range. So certainly giving you a little bit of my own feel to it, as well as matched up with the projection. So Paul Casey, he comes in as the best value above 8,000 this week, coming in at a value of 8.13 based on our projections. That's very good. $8,300 on his DraftKings price, 36 on his Yahoo price. Good course history. Got a top 10 here last year, and his recent form would suggest he's trending that way as well. He has 3 starts over the past 11 weeks. All of them have come in the top 25 with 1 top 10 and a top 15 a couple of weeks ago at the Genesis. Take a look at his strokes gain ranks. This is from last year, in case he hasn't had enough starts on the PGA Tour to accumulate stats. But we look off the tee, he's 43rd. He was 2nd on approaches last year. An amazing year, trending that way again. He's also very good around the green, ranked 68th, but of course he loses a couple strokes on putting. You can't have 43rd, 2nd, and 68th and be a good putter because you win a lot. Well, that's not the case for Paul Casey, ranked 124th. Still a great value this week with solid course history. I like him a lot at this price. And lastly, okay, so this is going to be the top value of golfers that are basically over 9,000. I had a couple of choices here. Based on our DFS projections, the answer would be Adam Scott. Adam Scott's coming in at 9,000, but doesn't have great course history, and I'm worried about his off-the-tee game. I mentioned that I thought it was getting a little bit better, then it kind of went through a lag period, then it bounced back at Genesis, so it's a little too shaky for me to play on this golf course where I really think you need to be in play. So the second golfer that is ranked is Jon Rahm, and Jon Rahm's certainly a good play. He's played well this year. Even when he's played bad, he's found a way to get into the top 20, but he hasn't played here yet. So I'd rather go to Rory McIlroy, who comes in as the 3rd best value above 9,000. And a golfer that's played well this year. He's come in the top 15 or top 10 in 3 straight events. And here at this golf course, he's been in the top 10 for the last 5 years, including a win. This golf course is made for him. He loves being able to dominate certain golf courses like Tiger used to. So I expect Rory McIlroy in the top 10 again and playing as one of the best values over 9,000 this week. All right, so that's going to do it. I want to thank Yahoo, the sponsor of this short form video. We've got a great deal with them for this PGA DFS season. If you are a new member, you haven't checked out Yahoo yet, first off, they got a nice prize pool this week. Their Big Baller PGA DFS contest. Check it out. And if you haven't signed up over there, you can get a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum for just signing up, making a deposit, and playing in your first paid contest. Of course, if your goal is to play Thursday for the PGA DFS contest, send us an email to support@awesemo.com that you've deposited and signed up, and they'll get you squared away with your free month. Also, if you don't end up sending an email, Yahoo will send us an email, and then we'll give you a code through that. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do it for my values. Of course, stay tuned for my top 5 sleepers. That's going to come up right after this video. You may not even have to click it. And, of course, tune in for our live shows. Strategy show at 1 p.m. on Tuesday and live before lock on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Next week, we go to the players. $1 Million Millionaire Makers. There's going to be 2 of them next week. We'll talk about the best ways to win it. That's next week. Let's win some life-changing money this week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, everybody. Good luck. See you on the other side. Cheers.